about tonight is the gift of desperation. And whether you know it or not, some of the greatest decisions that have been made in life have come at man's most desperate moments. When in the hospital, when in prisons and places like this where, we had hit a brick wall, where we couldn't do this anymore and we had to do something different. And I know some of you get to places like this because of the gift of desperation. And I always call it a gift because it truly is a gift. And we may not see it as a gift at the time, but when we look back in retrospect and say, wow, that really was a gift, because it was through those desperate moments that I wind up doing the things that I did. We all come to this point where we're forced to look at ourselves in the mirror and see what's going on in our lives. And I had that such experience. I remember on August 3rd, 1985, I was getting up to get dressed that particular morning when I looked at myself in the mirror. And looking in the mirror with tears running down my eyes. The tears were not tears of joy, of happiness, because I was looking so fly. No, they were tears of desperation and disappointment as to what my life had become up until this point. You see, just 8 months prior to this particular day, I was in Balboa Naval Hospital on Christmas Day getting a kidney removed that had a cancerous tumor inside this kidney. 2 days after that, I had heroin being delivered to the hospital. And after it was delivered to the hospital, I found myself carting around this IV pole with my butt hanging out, one of them designer gowns that they give you in the hospital, looking for a room for some privacy to shoot this heroin. And for the next 8 months, I had to live every day with myself thinking, man, you've probably gone too far, Sherman. You've already lost one kidney, and here it is, you still can't stop using drugs. And so it was on this morning, like I said, of August 3rd, 1985, that I made a decision to check myself into naval rehab in Miramar. And so on September 15th, I made a decision that I'm not getting high ever again, no matter what. This was my moment of desperation, my gift of desperation. And as a result of this desperation, I put together 28 years clean. And so within each of us is a perfect power that when we hit this point of desperation, is that we're always capable of doing more than we ever done before. As a matter of fact, I want to believe that every setback that we have is a setup for something greater, if we see it that way. You may be stuck in a job that's going nowhere, that you can't, express your creativity in any kind of way. And so I remember after being clean for a few years, I had the privilege of going to the Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park, New York, after having 3 years clean. I had to pack up everything I owned in my Hyundai and drive all the way 3,000 miles to New York to go to school. And during that time, it was a time that I got out of school. I remember working for the Marriott downtown and being in there, working for them every day, making about $10 or $11 an hour, but having all this education. And I said, man, I'm making these people a lot of money here. And I'm not making anything. And it was because of that desperate saying that, man, I don't want to be here stuck as a line cook 5 and 6 years from now when I got all these skills. So I made a vow, and I came up with a plan. And I came to Los Angeles to visit a friend on a weekend, and he took me to Harold and Bell's, a Cajun and Creole restaurant here in Los Angeles. And when I left that restaurant, I said, you know what? We should be able to have something like this in San Diego. We really should be able to have something like this in San Diego with Cajun, Creole food, jambalaya, gumbo, red beans, dirty rice, all that kind of stuff, with a beautiful ambiance. And at the same time, Hometown Buffet had just opened up, and so I started thinking, what would it be like to have an elegant buffet with all these delightful Cajun and Creole dishes so that people can experience them like they could never experience at a sit-down. They would actually get to sample all of it. And because with that new desire, coupled with the gift of desperation, Sherman's Cajun and Creole Buffet opened up. And we were running for 5 years. In 3 to 5 years, we were voted the best buffet in San Diego. So I'm here to tell you that your gift of desperation, when you get, like Popeye had gotten, where you've had all you could stands and you can't stands no more, that is the starting point to do great and magnificent things in our lives.